Alright, hello everyone. 1 second here and I'll get started. Um, 1 second. Just gotta boot up the game. I gotta copy the URL and all that. You know how it is. Oops, I also forgot to do something else. 1 second. Okay. Let me link the Twitch as well. Yeah, let me boot up the game first. That's obviously probably the first thing I should be doing. And a bit of a hectic moment, considering that I just got home. All right. Multiplayer. I didn't have any mods on, did I? Okay, good. Just making sure. All right. Sorry about that. Was talking to somebody. Reichland Estates will be the first game map. Let me find a. People may have already started. Is a thing. So if I miss the first one, that's perfectly fine. I can just cast a previous new player replay. I also probably should edit my Twitch thing. 1 second. Alright, alright. Yeah, so some people have already started. That's fine. I will wait. I'm not sure. I'll probably cast a previous new player. No, that actually I can't at the moment. So I'll have to wait for the new player matches to open up again. Because the previous new player tournament was on a different patch on 5.0. This is 5.1 now. I'd have to. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'd have to change back to that 5.0 patch. So. Oh man, are you seriously? We're competing with the Returns Total War Community Clash right now. Yeah, he's live right now. My God. Apparently Nardu got the map wrong. Their matches, or the match, both of them got it wrong, which is quite unfortunate for them. But yeah, I mean, having to compete with the community clash on turns tournament really sucks. I can't tell if that's a bot or not. I mean, what's the next map so I can just look for next time? Spice Dunes will be the game 2 map. Let's see how fast people are competing their finishing their matches. A fresh bracket. Oh yeah, people went through their matches very, very quickly. Yeah. So right now we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches still going. Nardu unfortunately lost theirs. B6A6S. I don't know if that's supposed to spell out something, but they won their match. Chivo, Bongo, I recognize Bongo, and Hyuk-chan. I think these three are the only ones I recognize right now. I guess Poseidon as well. So apparently, here we go with Nardu's match real quick. Just cast out while we're waiting. Oh yeah, I should probably have Twitch open. 1 second. I don't know if people were talking in Twitch, but I do not have the chat open at all. Let me change the title. Alright. Alright. So we are gonna have dwarves for, I think it's for Nardu. No, is it Slanesh for Nardu? Let me just check real quick. I didn't even check that. I wasn't even watching. I was looking at something outside of the game. Alright, no, it's actually, yeah. I thought Nardu had changed their faction. That's why I was confused. That's why I thought they were dwarves. But Nardu will be playing Slanesh, and no surprise there up against Merrick as a dwarf. I can already tell you that this is a tough matchup for Slanesh, and I don't envy Nardu at all. But yeah, this is the wrong map. Alpine Raiders was not it. It was supposed to be regular in the States, but you know, what can you do? Alright, so for Nardu, we are going to have a Herald of Slanesh with Portal Glyph, Flash of Slanesh, and Pavane, as well as Acquiescence, plus that Blissful Rapture passive. Full Devoted Marauders, Hell Scourges included. We also have some new and improved Fiends who got some more models and more HP. They got 4 more models and quite a bit more HP. I forgot the exact number, but we also have the internal entourage as well. Heartseeker RR, good AP values, good stat line, and one of the best units on the Slanesh roster. Really, they pretty much carry the entire roster the majority of the time. They have obsessive adoration. If a lord or hero are within range, that lord or hero gets those damage bonuses plus melee stat increase. But yeah, just great stats all around. We also have some Exalted Demons of Slanesh as well. Chaos Furies too in the back line. Let me do that. Okay, so for the dwarves, we do have Ungrim Iron Fist. What does he have on him? He does have Axe of Dargo. That is it. Plus a Dragon Slayer, nothing on him. And Felix. So good old Hero Hammer. No surprise here, really. A front line of Dwarf Warriors, some Miners as well, and some Rangers in the back line with the Long Drong's Slayer Pirates, great ROR as well. They do have that Dwarf Rum, which is pretty nuts, and minus 10 melee attack on enemies within a 35-meter range. So very hard to kill them in melee. They have good stats as well, 48, 41. But Slayers, a whole bunch of Slayers, no surprise there, and some Cannons. Cannons obviously not going to be great here on this map, but you know, what can you do? Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to shoot before the Furies land on top of them and kill them. But I guess the Rangers and Slayers are here. Landing the Furies down with the Slayers literally right next by is pretty risky, but I mean, Furies, you know, they are infantry size, so at least they have that for them. Slayers only have their bonus versus large rather than infantry. Yeah, as you can see, the Furies are already dying in mass, and they're doing some good damage to the cannons, but to the cannon crew, but they're being shot by the Long Drawn Slayer Pirates, and not only that, by the Rangers as well. I mean, I think that's also a bonus as well. The Long Drons don't have that great of ammunition, don't have a lot of ammunition, so having them spend all that ammunition, what few they have, on Furies is great as well. That's only 4 volleys left. So, and those AP volleys are pretty insane. But Slanesh's infantry pulling up, going around the going around the ridge here. We have the Furies drop in as well on top of the Equerns Miners. Yeah, definitely way too early of a send in here. You want to hold it up in the air, waiting for the right opportunity while your infantry get to the actual point. But I get what they're doing here. What they're doing here is trying to stop the Equern Miners from throwing their blasting charges. At least that's what I think. Which is, you know, has its merits. Rangers also get hit by Pavane, so they're not able to shoot. They get rampaged. Fiends run in there, help out the Dweller Marauders in that fight, but we do have the Slayers coming over, and Fiends obviously not going to want to enjoy fighting Slayers, but they at least do have that 10% Fizz Res, or rather they have 20%, I think. Yeah. Lash hitting these Slayers and Equern Miners, pretty good value there. The Hero Hammer here is blobbing up your infantry a lot here, and that's prime opportunity. Yeah, yikes. Unfortunately, Slaanesh has fallen for the good old Dwarven trickery there, and lost quite a bit of infantry to that blasting charge volley. So already looking pretty bad for the Slaanesh side. Internal Entourage, somewhat healthy. They have 39 models left. They have to watch out though with all the Slayers and the cannons. And this is a perfect opportunity for when the cannons, the Chaos Sphere should be jumping on the cannons to stop them from shooting the internal entourage, but it's fine as the cannons are turning around for some reason instead of continuing to shoot the internal entourage, which they should have been doing. Dwarven Warriors getting run down by Fiends. Fiends push past them, and the Slayers need to get on top of the Rangers, stop them from shooting. Honestly, I don't even think the Rangers are your biggest issue here. I think it's purely the blasting charges and the Slayers. So, I mean, getting them off the field is obviously nice. You know, less firing on the Rangers side. I mean, on the Dwarven side. But see, look at the damage that's happening here because of the blasting charges. And the Fiends are being your one of the most valuable units, and most important units are being dragged down by Slayers. I mean, right now they aren't. The Slayers for some reason aren't attacking them. But yeah, they've taken a lot of damage just from either previously fighting Slayers or whatever reason. They've gotten quite beat up. General Entourage are also being bogged down by Slayers and Miners. And yeah, losing these guys, I think with only 300 value, that's pretty tough, I gotta say. But your Exalted Demonettes are relatively healthy. You used to have one available here. Where's the other one? I thought they had more than one. Maybe it crumbled already. Yeah, probably. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah. Unless I'm thinking that there was two and there's actually only one. But nonetheless, Miners throw their volleys in, their blasting charges in, and that'll be spelling in for it. Fortunately for Nardu. You have another replay in from Joy Boy. And let's see. Alright, but yeah. Tough match for Slaanesh there, but I mean, Nardu knows what to expect when they're playing Slaanesh. They're not going to have any good matchups, really. I mean, there's very few. You can probably count them on your hand there, and it's less than maybe 5, 4. And the Dwarven matchup is not one of them. Yeah, value's not looking that great. It was tough for Nardu, but definitely invested the Furies way too early. And yeah, one of those demons did get ransacked pretty early on without getting a single kill. I think they were probably one of the ones that got bogged down with the rest of the Devoted Marauders, thanks to the Hero Hammer of the Dwarves, and got blasting charged to hell. So yeah, just gotta be more careful with that. That's one of your good strategies as well that you can use to stop the blasting charges, try to get your opponents to miss the blasting charge throw, is send in like your single entities or monstrous infantry into the blasting charges. So if they do throw their blasting charges, they're not going to do much damage because it's only really good against infantry. So if you send the Fiends in on top of them first before your infantry get there, then it might just save them. But at the same time, you might just have to accept that you're going to be losing some Devoted Marauders to those blasting charges. But Let's see, 652 value on those guys. 1220 on the Ekron Minders. My God. Slayers probably did get 1,000 value there. Rangers, not so great. Long Johns Pirates, not great either. As you can see, a lot of their value was wasted on Furies and really targets that weren't worth their ammunition. But good match nonetheless. Let us move on. As the game 2, round 2 has started. Awesome. So before I cast another replay, let's go cast a actual live match. Next map is, let's check it out. We do have, I think I said it already, it's Spice Dunes. Let me find a match real quick. Oh, I just casted an American game. Let's see. Woe and Great Steve, are these two players in the bracket? Let's see. Yeah. It's Woe and SJK Klein. I'm guessing that's... I'm guessing that's Great Steve. Looks like there's some cleaning up that needs to be done from JP's side. We'll wait for that. I also don't know if these are the correct players. Let's see. I think it is. I think, okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. Yeah, okay. They changed the map to Spice Tunes, so this is definitely the right lobby I should be in. Alright, so presumably these are the right factions, from what I can tell with these army comps. And if so, it's Lizardman against Vampire Coast, and I can't say I'd enjoy this matchup as a Lizardman main, but I do think that the lizardmen can win this. Uh, fairly. I want to say fairly easily in the right hands of a proper vampire ghost player, but definitely I think it's favored for lizardmen. But alright, yeah, great. Steve has readied up. Just gotta wait for good old Woe here. And can't say this is what I would go with as Lizardman, but it's cool for sure. You gotta love new player tournaments because they bring some of the most wacky builds. And I miss that. I miss that a lot. And try in these like standard tournaments you see nowadays, it's pretty try hard. And you see the same exact thing all the time, while newer players are just experimenting because they don't know what's good. Though it seems like Great Steve does know what's good, however, and they're bringing exactly what every Vampire Coast player most likely brings, aside from a few choices. I'll try not to give any details on what I think is better to bring these matchups, as you never know. Don't want to not necessarily spoil is the right word, but you know, if a player hops in and unintentionally hears, then you know, it doesn't really matter as well, though. That I'm thinking about it, because you can have a good build, but doesn't mean you'll know what to do with it. And even then, I don't play Lizardman Coast as a matchup often because you don't typically see a lot of Coast players. But it's something like this, I'd probably go Fire Slan for Burning Head, and I think that's it, aside from Kindle Flame. And then, of course, their abilities, the Shield of the Old Ones, Blood Statuette, and Banishment. Probably bring mostly Skinks, though I would probably bring like 2, maybe 3 Saurus shielded. I don't... Or you can go the Spear variant to deal with animated Hulks and whatnot. But probably go Skink Skirmishers as well, like max maybe 4 Skink Skirmishers. For the army, probably max out on Feral Cold Ones because they can obviously if we get into the back line, and the AP helps against depth guard and even against crabs, which is alright. Not their main attention, not their main purpose, but still. I think one thing I would probably bring for sure is either a solar engine or a salamander, whether it be the hunting pack or the regular variant. I think the regular variant is fine, but I'd probably prefer hunting packs. They can shoot over over infantry and into guns and stuff like that because of their arc of fire. So pretty good all around, and they're wonderful for crabs. Any mounted character like Luther or what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but nonetheless. Crabs, good for doing crabs, animated hulks, etc. Oh, and especially just in case like bats are brought, they could screen out bats. I mean, that's what the scheme skirmishers are also for, but still. Oh, we just lost. Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, Bo's back. I have no idea what just happened. Maybe they just lost their entire build. They're gonna have to rebuild the entire thing again. That's unfortunate. Yikes. I'm not sure what happened there, but very, very unfortunate. As for Coast, I probably expect multiple depth guard. Luther Harkon could be brought with his new anti-large on his Terra Goose, but I still think what's his name is a more optimal choice. Noctilus, hard to kill as a foot character, and has anti-large with his halberd. Plus, obviously, he's a pretty good caster, considering he's split between Death and Death, Shadows, and what is it? The Lord of the Deep? Yeah. Yeah. Admiral of Death. Yeah. I do like Admiral of Death. You have Bunus for any Lizardman and Cav, Horned Ones, etc., Ripperdactyls, even Salamander hunting packs, etc. And you can also just I don't know. I think Death is okay here, but I definitely think I prefer what can I think of the name here? For some reason, I can't think of the name. My mind is blank today. It's extremely hot, and I've been freaking sweating. Lore Undead. Let me take them the blocker real quick. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I don't prefer vampires. There we go. Why am I thinking of undead? What is wrong with me? Vampires. I think I would always go with vampires or deep. But I think death also is pretty good as well here. I mean, death is good in most matchups. I think the only one that is not that great in is like ogres, simply because of how low most of their model counts are. But yeah, I find it. I don't think you're gonna get really consistent. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think the Spirit Leech is gonna be enough really for sniping out the Slans. They're hard to snipe out in the first place. But we do have Lord Mazdamundi with Banishment, Ruination, Apotheosis, Arcane Forging, Net, and Comet. Practically his full kit. No interesting that no Shield of the Old Ones, or that's interesting. Nonetheless, for the rest of the army, for the infantry, we do have Sword Spears, backed up by Skiing Cohorts, and we also have normal Saurus Warriors as well with shields. A Saurus Scarvet on a Carnosaur with Foe Seeker, Potion of Strength, and Plaque of Dominion, which is alright. -8 leadership can help set in that crumbling status for the undead factions. Skiing Skirmishers for the range component. We also, for the Vampire Coast, we do have a Fleet Admiral of Vampires with Black Parapet for that power recharge, Opal Amulet, Invocation, and Dance Macabre, plus Gaze and Drowned Dead, as well as the Curse of Undeath for that heal, passive heal. Gunnery mobs gonna be up front, no surprise there. Pole arms as well. We've got some more hand gunners plus more pole arms, and then some deck gunners, just a single variant with 2 mortars, one being silver chevron and the other being gold chevron. So yeah, definitely a new player tournament. Animated Hulks as well. I mean, to be fair, it does have its merits, because if you're silver chevron in a range unit, especially like a cannon or a artillery piece, it does increase their accuracy, and mortars suffer a lot from having poor accuracy, so definitely helps a lot. Excuse the dogs. The dogs are just like barking their lungs out as usual. We also have some Death Guard with pole arms, 2 of them, and they should do great into the Carnosaur and whatnot. Any Carnosaurs or any other dinosaurs that are brought by the Lizardman side. Animated Hulks for that armor piercing should do good at whittling down Saurus Warriors with the help of the deckhand mobs. You can fade a view and null by trappers. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely too many spells on some of these casters, but you know, it's new players. You gotta let them experiment and figure out that you're not gonna have enough wins to be casting all of these spells. You gotta be selective. For me, I'd probably go with maybe just Gaze and Invocation. That's probably the best bet. Gaze you can use to snipe out any single entities, like Saurus Scarvets if need be, but also on slants. But same for Mazamundi. I probably wouldn't bring Arcane Forging. Not even sure if I'd bring Comet as well. I'd probably just go Apotheosis and Net. But nonetheless, we'll see how it goes. Gunnery mobs getting some shots in here. Those Skiing Cohorts unfortunately have routed already. I'm not sure from what. Maybe it's from... I don't know. They took a lot of damage very quickly. These are just gunnery mobs. So I don't know what shreked those Skiing Cohorts so bad. Was it mortars? I think it was a mortar. I think it was a mortar volley. But Skiing Cohorts getting into the fight already. We do have... What is this? A Comet? No. A Banishment. I hope that wasn't a freaking Comet. Banishment doing some decent work here, running through those pole arms. Not too bad for a banishment. And getting rid of those pole arms is obviously very nice. Saurus Warriors kind of getting kited a bit here, but they do have the shields to mitigate some of those missile fire. They have 35% missile fire with those copper shields, bronze shields. Animated Hulks screening out the Saurus while the pistols move back. That's a pretty nice play there by the Vampire Ghost player. The Saurus might end up routing. Quite unfortunate. Which is, typically you want those Saurus to get into combat, because they will last a long time in combat. But yeah, already didn't even make it to the actual fight before they got run down. Skiing Skirmishers getting some okay work here on the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. We do have the Ruination Cities hitting the handgunners and doing a little bit of chip damage to Animated Hulks. A bit too much invested here on this one fight. Definitely would push the Croxigors through to get on top of the gunnery mobs, but at the same time, they're out deck hard with pole arms, so you could probably send the Croxigore somewhere else, maybe around through here, or just maybe you can help out in this fight. But especially considering the Solar Scarvet and the spears are already dealing with what's there, you don't need the Croxigores there. To be fair, I also wouldn't even bring Croxigores. I don't see a reason why you'd ever bring them in this matchup. I mean, they could help the depth guard, but I don't think the depth guard are your biggest problem. And meanwhile, the Croxigores are just going to be shot to death. Adamant Hulk's going to run through here and help out with this fight. We do have 2 Source Warrior units here invested, which is not great. Definitely need one to be split up. Seeing skirmishers still firing and getting the shots into the gunnery mobs, but they're not going to trade very well. They don't exactly have missile resist like their Chameleon Skink variant, so they're taking a fair bit of damage. But it's mostly just like leadership that's really an issue for them. And yeah, Skink skirmishers don't have the greatest leadership. Croxigores left here in polearms, which is quite unfortunate. They definitely needed support of these spears. Definitely would have just let those Croxigores push through and kept the spears back with the polearms. Solar Scarvet pushing through the back line and trying to get on top of that gunnery mob, but it's quite unfortunate. They're fighting in polearms and being shot by the handgunners who have great AP values, and you might end up falling here. We'll see. 2785. You may actually get away before anything happens. Definitely should get an apotheosis on him. Deck gunners are shooting him as well. We have the mortar still shooting. How are they doing? Let's see. I think one volley just hit, and yeah, that'll be going to Vampire Coast. Yeah, things started going pretty poorly there for the Lizardmen quite early on, and I think the Vampire Coast player, 1, just kind of played it a bit better, and 2, had a better build overall for countering that Lizardmen as a faction. Adamant Hulks are great for their mass and do some pretty good AP damage, and are good at fighting off Saurus or helping the deckhand mobs fight off Saurus. Mortars did good as well, 784 and 755. Again, those chevrons probably helped a lot with their accuracy. And let's see here, handgunners kind of reign supreme there. 1200 value there on this one and 1146 on this one. That Source Scarvet got pretty much annihilated by those handgunners. The polearms, the deck card polearms were obviously an issue, but being shot to pieces by handgunners doesn't help either. Depth guard did okay as well. The Admiral do 295, yeah. 1009 on Lord Mazdamundi, 189 on the Scarvet. Definitely don't see a reason for the Scarvet, but it's fun. I do love to see a Scarvet. And probably a bit too much investment on Source Infantry. You definitely probably want to bring more Skinks. You need to go wide when you're going against Coast, as that's exactly what they'll do. Let's see. Let's refresh our bracket real quick to see how things are going. Things are advancing pretty swiftly for a new player tournament. We still have 2. That's also the thing as well. New player matches go by extremely fast, depending on if the person knows when it's time to give up. Some new players don't know when it's time to give up, so they'll fight until the very end, even though it's a given that they've lost. But seemingly so far, people kind of know when it's over, and it's kind of hard to scrap back. Though that also means people might be giving up too soon, and still have plenty of room to scrap back, and they don't know it. So it's either or typically. But you'll see that especially in like Dom, newer players just kind of keep fighting and dragging out the timer because they don't know the match is done yet, or that they've lost. There's no way of coming back. But I suppose it's much easier to read in land battles. And also you have army losses in land battles as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a new player tournaments. They're not known for running super smoothly. So as a land battle, as a land battle tournament, it going this smoothly is pretty great because with fruit rules, rule breaks, etc. It's it can really drag out a tournament, and you gotta expect new players to break rules on accident most of the majority of the time. Let's see the bracket here. Refresh it real quick just in case. And as you can see, yeah, we're already down to just one match. That's so incredibly fast for how many players there are, and again, it being land battle. Let's see here. Got some messages here. Got another Nardu replay as well. Dwarves versus Slanesh again. Yeah, poor Nardu. They picked Slanesh, and they just happened to be fighting a lot of dwarves, or rather, in a tournament with a lot of dwarves. Skaven versus Dowie from Joy Boy. And let me see. We have other. Yes, we do have Team Kings versus Zinj as well. I'll throw that in the replay matches as well. Skaven versus Dowie. Yes, okay. That's the same one. Alright, so we got a few replays. I won't cast them yet because it seems like the round is already about to be pushed, already about to be finished. But we do have Team Kings versus Zinj, which is pretty nice. Seemingly, I want to say super balanced matchup. I'd put that in Zinj's favor. Probably. I do think it's tough for Team Kings. I would probably say 70-30 or 65-45 for Zinj. But we'll see how it goes. It's a new player tournament. Obviously, things are different. Yeah, unfortunately, they fight the Hero Hammer again, which is quite unfortunate for Nardu. But Nardu, again, knows what they're doing whenever they're picking Slanesh in a new player tournament. And then we also have this game versus Dowie from the Joy Boy, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of Dowie this tournament, which is great if you like Dowie, but I know a majority of landbound players do not like Dowie at all. Oh, I also need to change the thumbnail, I think, for my this YouTube stream, because it's just a general, it's my fresh spawn one. Let me check it real quick. Oh, I'm already playing it in my, okay, there we go. Oh, you know, Nardu. You know. Don't you play a fool. You know exactly what you were going for. Let me see here. Why isn't this opening? Ah, there we go. I opened it like 4 times. Desktop. Okay, just changing the thumbnail real quick and we'll get right back into it once the new matches are up. This is why you should be playing, you know, like fun. I mean, Slaanesh is fun, but better factions like, oh, you know, Lizardmen for starts. Nurgle is pretty cool. We got the Chaos Dwarves. Like, come on, Nardi. You're begging to lose. All right, JP's just fixing the bracket real quick. What's wrong with Slaanesh? Oh, let me think. Oh, let me think. What's wrong with Slaanesh, huh? Oh, let's go over this real quick. This is what's wrong with Slaanesh. Everything is wrong with Slaanesh. Your soul grinders suck. I'm sorry, Nardi, but your soul grinders, they're terrible. Your your keepers of secrets, terrible. Your ranged, your skirmish cav, they are okay. Your heroes, terrible. Your chariots, awful. Downright horrendous, to say the least. Yeah, you have Nakari. There's that. You know, he's okay, I guess. Human Boy is probably his biggest advocate. And, you know, he can work. You also have Azazel. You have about 1, 2, 3, 4 competitive lords. Or, really, you have 3 competitive lords. It's 1 okay lord, being Nakari. But really, you have 3. You have the Herald, you have Azazel, and you have Sigvald. Azazel's ugly, so you should never pick him. Because you should only pick good-looking or not ugly casters or lords. So never pick Azazel. Disgusting. I hate seeing Azazel. You can only pick Sigvald and the Herald. Nakari is okay. This guy is awful. Never pick him ever. He's trash. You do have some of the coolest cav in the game, Chaos Knights, which are so incredibly awesome. They're so fashion oriented, and they pack a big old punch. And you do have some incredible regiment, elite cav. I mean, the internal entourage are fantastic, and I'm glad you're bringing them because they're literally your best option for one of your best options in general as Slaanesh against heavily armored factions like the dwarves. But everything else sucks. Sorry. No, you have Hellscourges, Chosen Hellscourges, which are good, but they kind of got nerfed recently. Your Hellstriders did get 5 more bonuses to large, so, you know, congratulations to all you Slaanesh mains out there. They still suck, but, you know, they have 5 more, they have 10 more bonuses to large, so there's that. You don't have to play whatever you want, Artie. I respect that you're playing Slaanesh, and it's a tough battle. It's going to be a tough battle for you every tournament if you continue to main Slaanesh. But as Coops says, the only other Slaanesh main I know, it's fun, but you're just gonna have to deal with the pain. Slaanesh sucks, but they're incredibly fun, and that's what matters. Don't worry, you'll get your DLC soon, and then Slanesh will be number 1. But let's get started on that lobby too. On that match, that round 3, excuse me. Let's see. Let me find this person's. Here we go. Direct messages. Got it right now. All right, we got a match to join. Is this the right one? What is going on here? Yeah, that's not a lobby. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Yeah, this one doesn't have a lobby. All right, this one has a spectator slot. Either that or it's not showing up properly. Yeah. Okay. They just added a spect. Wonderful. What did they say the password was? Password is okay. That's not the password. That's not what the password's supposed to be. I gotta remember to turn on the blocker before I join matches. I always forget. Oh, good. Yes. If you're gonna get a coaching lesson from anybody, Coops is definitely one of the best players to get a coaching lesson from on Slanesh, because if anybody knows more than Slanesh, it's Coops. Nobody else does. When I think of anytime I think of Slanesh, it's Coops. You said the Demon Prince is pretty solid from your testing. Interesting that you say that. Did the Demon Prince of Slanesh get a cost decrease? Because if so, I would try him, I suppose. But Demon Princes in general just kind of suck because of how much they cost. But I know some of them did get cost decreases. I don't remember which ones. In 5.1. But we do have Ogre Kingdoms for Diarrhea up against Random, who was rocking the Lizardman. For the Lord here, we do have a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Bone Crusher, extra ingredients for that Power Recharge Rate, and Troll Guts. Now, when you're fighting against Ogre Kingdoms, remember that something that I always forget, Slaughtermasters, when they have extra ingredients, they recharge this on melee. So if you're just sending like crappy old Manicores like I've mistakenly done and sent them to the Slaughtermaster, that's just giving them free wins at that point. And I've made that mistake way too many times. We do have some Load Belchers in the back line with some Powder Guts, the Man-Eater ROR, one of the coolest units on the Greek roster. I love these guys in their goofy Empire hats. And they do have that adaptive tactics for that plus melee defense and melee attack whenever they're losing melee. So they're hard to beat in melee. Gotta say, you gotta shoot them to death and hope that they die. But it's a tough thing to do. Noblars, not the Trapper variant for some reason, but we do have a bunch of dual weapons as well, and we do have a scrap and an Iron Blaster. Nice. I was confused their banner with the scrap launcher. But the Iron Blaster and some Man-Eater's great weapons, who unfortunately got forgotten over here in the corner. No Saber Tusk pack, which is pretty risky. Skink Skirmishers up in the front line for the Lizardmen. Probably vanguarded up too early. Or too far, rather. As they have no missile resistance, as I said in the last match. So they're going to get beat up pretty badly by Iron Blasters and whatnot. Or Lead Belchers, excuse me. Tanawin going to be the lore choice, and he is going to be on the freaking Engine of the Gods. Hell yes. I'm so glad that the Engine of the Gods got buffed, man. I'm so freaking happy to see Tahanawini back in action again. He does have that burning alignment from that Engine of the Gods, Flock of Doom, and Arcane Configuration, which comes with that Engine of the Gods as well, plus 20% recharge rate. But yeah, he's just going to be spamming out Flock of Doom, and that Engine of God does have Portent of Warding as well, plus 5% ward save. He even has the Plaque of Sotek. Excuse me, they have the Plaque of Sotek for that 20% ward save and leadership whenever casting, which is, not terrible, but I think too expensive for what it is. And I never bring it as Tanwin. But Skinks will be the front line here, along with some Saurus in the back line. We do have another solar engine as well. 2 solar engines to be exact, which is, I think, pretty good against the Ogre Kingdoms. I've utilized them in the matchup before. Didn't have as much success as I would have hoped, but I do have generally decent success with it in this matchup. As it does provide that debuff on like Lead Belchers and Ogre Bulls and Crushers. That blinded effect for that minus melee stats and accuracy, which is pretty insane. But yeah, definitely surprised to see no Saber Tusk pack to chase down any Chameleon Skinks or whatnot. A Flock of Doom hitting these dual weapons and all these other infantry here. Do have the Man-Eater's great weapons getting on top of Skinks for some reason. They will beat them, it's just not exactly what they should be used for. We do have the Clausen Hunters, I forgot to mention as well. Going to be your best piece right here for dealing with Ogre, Cav, etc. And Lead Belchers, as they have that insane bonus versus large stats. That Burning Alignment cast down, but not the best spot to do it there. At best, it would have maybe killed this Noblar unit, but definitely not worth the cast. Lead Belchers getting run down by the Clausen Hunters, and they do end up getting run off, which is great. And now the solar engine is also shooting into the Iron Blaster as well. One moment, guys. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call. Clausen Hunters getting on top of the Iron Blaster, which is going to be fantastic. If they can pick off this Iron Blaster, that could lead this game in the Lizardmen's direction. Though they take a shot to the back. Luckily, they are still up and standing, but they have one model stuck here, which... Okay, I had this exact issue against Tactical Lich, which really annoyed me. Having the Clausen Hunters models getting stuck on freaking Nobblars feels so incredibly painful. And these are just regular Nobblars, by the way. They're not even the Trapper variant, which slow you down. It's just regular Nobblars, and the freaking model got stuck, and my Clausen Hunters routed off because of that, which so annoyed me so badly. But the model does eventually escape, luckily. We do have another Flock of Doom hitting all of these units from the Ogre Kingdoms, including the Powder Guts, which is pretty great. Dual weapons dealing with... are trying to deal with the Sword Spears, but obviously the Sword Spears are going to prefer that matchup, as they do have that anti versus anti-large. These dual weapons get routed off. We do have some non-large and dual weapons returning, and some scheme cohorts coming back in the back line. Tanawin getting a nice rear charge here, or rather getting into the back of the Nobblars, routing those guys off, Terra routing them. You have a bit of friendly fire here. Come on, Solar Engine. Hitting Tanawin, or actually Tanawin, I guess, blocking that shot for some reason, just jumping into the fire. Iron Blasters now shooting at the Solar Engines, but Solar Engines in return are shooting back. Not going to do a whole lot of damage though, because they have 90 armor, and solar engines don't have that great of AP. I'd probably switch the solar engines to start shooting at, say, maybe the Slaughtermaster, but it matters not, as the Lizardmen are going to win this out. And I may have missed some of the action. I apologize, folks, but what can you do when you get called? It looks like there was going to be a nasty, nasty spell here. I'm not sure what. Oh, it was probably going to be... What is it called? The Fist. Or the Ogre Kingdoms. The only chariots in this patch 5.1 that I haven't seen are the Slanesh chariots. So if Nardu says that they're doing okay, I'll believe him. I believe them, but I don't have my hopes high, because chariots in general in Warhammer 3, aside from Bariots, have been pretty awful, and I can't imagine that little change did much, because I casted a game recently with Tomb King's chariots and they were okay. Didn't really do great. And from what I've heard through the Vermin chat, the Under Empire chat, is chariots have done alright in general. They haven't really changed a whole lot. But let's look at the values here. Dual weapons did alright. Yeah, the positioning of the great weapons was not ideal, and they were not able to get on the correct targets. For some reason, one of them got sent into fighting skinks, which I think was a big mistake, as you could have been harassing the back line of the solar engines. Getting on top of the solar engines with those great weapons would have been great. But also, not only that, keeping one in the back line to protect your Iron Blaster and your Powder Guts, plus these 3 units right here, they need protecting. So keeping these guys in the back line might have been the ideal choice there for that. Because the Iron Blaster will fall very quickly to the Clausen Hunters, same with the Lead Belchers, and you need those Lead Belchers shooting, obviously. I also would bring Trapper variants, because Trapper variants are just pretty much always better if you can afford them. I think they're only, what, 100 gold more, maybe, than the base variant. Yeah, those knives do great into dinosaurs. Just the volume of throwing knives, those little junk knives that they throw. They don't look like they do a lot of damage, but the amounts that you throw of them, and over time they will do a considerable amount of damage. Plus, they do have that speed debuff, as I said before, which is pretty great at dealing with cold ones, etc., that are in your back line. Slow them down. Batanwin did alright, 653, 783 here, and 500 on the solar engines. Sword Spears did good, 1066. Yeah, no surprise there. Speeder's doing great at dealing with ogres. Skink Skirmishers did good as well, 671, 492, and 1363. Yeah, good use of the Clausen Hunters. Well played to both players. Wonderful. Nardu sending me another replay from Slanesh. Alright. We do have another one here. Another Tomb Kings match. Alright, let's check the bracket real quick. Okay, so we have a few matches still waiting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches still going. We can wait a little bit. either... We could probably get a... I'm only gonna send you losses so that you have to suffer like I do. Oh, Nardu. Oh, Nardu. If you somehow end up sending me a win, if you somehow get a win with Slanesh, I'd be surprised. But sure, let's cast the game while we wait for the other matches. Hopefully it shouldn't take much longer. Let's get another Nardu game in real quick. 2 wins, huh? Nice. Okay, okay. Look at you. I mean, again, you do have Coops teaching you the good stuff. So they're not like dumpster fire bad, but they're not exactly new player friendly either, and very, very hard to use. They don't have very good matchups. Let's just be frank. But they do have style points. I do give Nardu and Coops credit for it. Lash of Slanesh with Portoglyph and Acquiescence. We also have Pavane. Pretty much always you're going to run Pavane and Lash. I don't know why Nardu's bringing Acquiescence, but this is some trickery of Coops that I don't know about. Some secret tech. Honestly, it's fine. Six wins for minus 25% speed and 24 melee defense, which is pretty insane. So you can catch out any, like, say, Fireborn, etc. I completely understand why you'd use it. I just don't ever see it used. That's all. Devoted Marauders, plus we also have... Is it just all Devoted Marauders? Yes, it is. Some Exalted Demon Nets as well can get through some Swordmasters if need be. Actually, I don't know how the matchup would go with Demon Nets, Exalted Demon Nets, and Swordmasters. They might win it. Let's see. House Riders as well for the Cav. That bonus versus large can help out with Illyrian Reavers, etc., Silverhelms, Chaos Furies in the back line, and that is it, I believe. Well, we do have some more House Riders on the right flank with some Fiends. Just one good old Fiend. Is the caster on foot? Yeah, she is on foot. Cool. For the High Elves, we do have Archmage of Life on a Sun Dragon, or Moon Dragon, excuse me. I always confuse the Yellow Dragon with Sun Dragon. But yeah, Moon Dragon with Dwellers Below, Regrowth, and Life Bloom, plus Arcane Conduit for that power recharge rate, Book of Hoth as well for more power recharge, and that is it. We do have Fireborn, that newly improved Fireborn. They do have AP now. Rioter has been blessed by CA finally. They have AP, really good AP values. Their weapon strength got flipped around, so they have 31 AP and 13 base, plus, of course, their bonus versus large. So they're pretty fantastic in most matchups. Spearman, going to be the mainstay here for the High Elves, plus Silver and Guard, which have been Silver Chevron for some reason. That's some wild stuff there. So their melee defense up to 59 right now, a 5 from that unit rank. I like how they changed that CA, adding in the bonus values there. No, before this, you wouldn't have seen that at all. So you wouldn't have seen that 5 from the rank up. But yeah, 59 freaking melee defense. Pigman would be crying right now. Sisters of Avalorn for the range component. And we have the Keepers of the Flame. Pretty cool. Beating Scarred ROR. Once you kill some of their models, they explode. At least I think they do. Do they not anymore? Is it not detailed on their... Yeah, okay, yeah. When struck down, it's just not here for some reason. I forgot. Yeah, Mark of Osirian. So whenever they're struck down, their unworthy killer is soon engulfed in... Yeah, they just explode. They burst into flames whenever they die. Very high elf. But going to speed up things a little bit here. We do have the House Riders get engaged here, unfortunately, by the Fireborn, which is not great. They're going to get absolutely massacred here. Yeah, they're barely going to put a dent into the Fireborn. So unfortunate already for the Slanesh side. Sisters of Avalorn shooting in and getting some good value here on the Exalted Demon Nets. This is exactly what you don't want. Slanesh is getting your demonic units shot by the magical missiles of the Sisters. I definitely would have waited to bring those Demonettes in until your Chaos Furies got here. But what can you do? Exalted Demonettes have taken the damage. Do have a nice Pavane here, rampaging that Archmage, which gets the Fiend's time to catch onto it and possibly do some pretty good damage into it. This is a nice play there by Nardu. Pavane is your the best tool you have for forcing the engagements that you want as the Slanesh player. Chaos Furies get on top of Sisters. Hellstriders get an engagement here as well into the Silverin Guard, where the Silverin Guard try to screen the Mount Fiends as well on the Sisters. The Hellstriders definitely need to be brought around, however. Get on top of those Sisters, help out those Chaos Furies. Do have the Fiends pushing through as they lost surround on the Archmage. A Dweller's Blow hitting both the Hellstriders and the Fiends, which is going to produce some pretty good damage into the Hellstriders. Not so much the Fiends for some reason. I guess it's only getting a few models. But Hellstriders coming in, going to get a rear charge hit on the Sisters here. They do have some pretty good melee stats, so it is tough to take them down, especially with the anti-large specialized Cav. A deadly breath attack hitting the Devoted Marauder. Surprisingly, didn't hit the Exalted Demoness because for some reason some of their models are still stuck. They're actually not here at all. They're over here. But some of their models are stuck on the Spearman, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Devoted Marauders coming back and getting brought back into the fight. Fireborn are here and now going to start causing havoc, though we do get another Pavane, another nice Pavane, forcing them to charge into the Chaos Furies, which is obviously not great. They can't select what fight they want to go into, but this is actually going to go decent for Fireborn. But in the meanwhile, they are taking damage from that actual Pavane, and they're exhausted as well. So they're forced to fight Chaos Furies and Fiends. They will eventually beat those Fiends, but it'll be a pretty tough fight for them. Though we do have a Regrowth coming in, which is great, perfectly for what they need. They're getting some vigor back and some HP. Sisters take a charge from the Chaos Furies and Hellstriders. Hopefully they can get them off the field soon. We do have the Hellstriders getting a rear charge here on the Spearman. Might break them, which is pretty nice there. They have that Charmed Effect and Sulfuric Musk bringing their melee stats pitifully down to 7 and 33 melee defense, which is pretty nice. But the Keepers, the Fireborn, do get a charge here on the Devoted Marauders and the Exalted Demonettes, which is pretty nice. Spearmen and Devoted Marauders battling it out on the Wet Noodle contest here. Archmages. What's she gonna do up here in the sky? We do have the Herald of Slanesh bogging on the Sisters of Avalorn. Nicely played by Nardu. Another breath attack hitting these Fiends. Gonna actually do some pretty considerate damage there. Not super considerate, but it does some decent damage there. Not bad. More than what I expect. Hellstriders to finish off these Sisters and rout them off, and gonna be getting up to the next one. Pretty nicely played by Nardu. Archmage getting into the fight here with the Devoted Marauders. Might end up terror routing those Devoted. We'll see, though. They have some pretty... Actually, no, they have ITP, being Slanesh. So, for those who are aspiring Slanesh players, you do have one nice thing with your infantry. They all have Mark of Slanesh, granted them an ITP, which is pretty nice. So that means no terror routes from dragons. Is there going to be another Pavane here on that Archmage? No, we do have Narcissism stopping them from moving. So now she's just bogged down by... Devoted Marauders, which is great. That means she's not able to help out in the other engagements. A Pavane hitting the Fireborn, which is fantastic. Wonderfully played by Nardu with these Pavanes catching out the Fireborn. That's exactly what you need to get yourself back in this game. But my issue is that the Keepers are troublesome to deal with, but they only have 1800 HP. I'm just not sure. I mean, they are having to deal with a Devoted and Exalted Demoness. Will this actually go to Slanesh? The thing is, Nardu said that they are only going to send me losses, so we'll see. But yeah, as you can see, these Keepers, when one of their models dies, they do explode into like a little fiery... Oh, a breath attack hitting those Exalted Demoness and Hellstriders. That's a pretty nice breath attack. But as you can see, their models, once they start dying, they burst into flames, do a little damage to the enemies around them. I can see where things start to turn around, though, as that breath attack annihilates the Fiends and those Devoted Marauders plus Hellstriders. But we'll see. Regrowth, bringing those Keepers' flames back up. They still have 20 models left, so that's an okay regrowth. I probably would have preferred that maybe on the Archmage, but keeping those keepers alive obviously has some merit. We're going to speed things up here a little bit as it's things whittled down to a blob fight. Devoted chasing, Marauders chasing off some Nesh. Spearmen. These guys finish off the Spearmen as well. The Herald doing some pretty good damage into the Archmage, and this actually will go to Slanesh. No, dude, what the hell? I thought you said this was a loss. Excuse me. You lied. Why did you lie to me? I got baited. Of your hopes. That's some clickbait right there. That is some freaking clickbait. No, well played. That's a pretty good job there with your micro. Nice. Extremely well played with those host riders. 1350 here on the Herald. Pretty good there. Nice cast there as well by Nardu. Really nice cast. Pavane is your number one. Is one of the. I'm not sure if it's your number one, but I would consider it number one as a tool there for us in the match and to winning your matchups, because you can catch out some fairly valuable targets with Pavane. 2280 on these Alta Demonettes. They were fighting freaking Silver and Guard, Keepers of the Flame. I mean, I'm sure I even saw them fighting some Sisters or something, but they picked up a lot of freaking value. Nice. That is beautiful work. Here, the House Riders did fine. 1079 on the Chaos series. Nice. 829 on these guys as well. 1421 and 1423. Yeah, the Fiends were absolutely fantastic. They do have that magic damage, and they have more HP now, so they're still glass cannon, obviously, as a Slanesh unit, but they have a lot more survivability and won't die like a minute or less into the game. So they're pretty great now. 2232 on the live caster. She did good. No surprise there. Some pretty decent breath attacks. Sisters did all right. They got compromised pretty early on, but yeah, just definitely not enough cav for on the high elf side to protect these sisters. And to be fair, 3 sisters is a lot of investment. If you're gonna go with sisters, I'd probably bring maybe just 2 at most, because they're freaking expensive. Also, Keepers of the Flame, it's very expensive choice as well, but they did pretty good. 1800 value there. I think they're very cool. So cool points, style points is what matters, and they did great. Same with the Dragon Princess, 1405. Yeah, you gotta make Coops proud. You can't just let Coops can't let Coops down. All right, we're up to the finals. We're to the finals already? My God. Hold on. Why are they only doing 3 matches? Three rounds. I thought there was another round. Oh, it's 3 rounds Swiss format. Why are we doing 3? I don't know why JP went with 3, but that's interesting. Yeah, that's really weird. I think that leaves the points very. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. Because, so here's my issue with, not only do I find 3 rounds being an issue just normally, but also people who got buys in Swiss rounds, that freaking sucks for them. Foxstream got 2 matches out of a 3-round tournament. Same with Random Cuban. and which is sucks. For those who don't know, buys are freaking terrible for Swiss tournaments because they lose out on opponent points, which can get them into the finals. Foxstream obviously still made it into the finals, but still. Yeah, I suppose. Maybe JP just wanted a shorter tournament, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Swiss tourneys can take a while, but I think in land battles it's not that big of an issue with time. Honestly, I think Swiss land battles go by pretty fast. Yeah, exactly. That's also a thing as well. Like these these final players could have definitely been different with that fourth round, with that tiebreaker round. But what can you do? So we're in our finals. Fox. I mean, to be fair, it is pretty nice. I mean, again, I still would have. I was waiting for that fourth round. Like I was perfectly fine with casting another fourth round plus the finals because this is going so much faster than Swiss. Excuse me, Dom. Dom goes by so freaking slow in Swiss. I mean, you're talking maybe 30, 30 minutes per round usually, 30 to 40 depending on how newish these players are. Well, here we're going through freaking it. When did this even start? How long has the stream been? An hour and a half. Sure, I missed the first round, but an hour and a half, and we're already done with the tournament. Aside from the finals, like, are you kidding me? Oh, Floating Fat Man. Floating Fat Man won one of my domination tournaments, one of my new player tournaments in domination, and now they're gonna freaking dominate the new player land battle scene as well. They're they're branching out. Good for them. Good for them. Land battle. Let's see. Let me see if they put a code in. Okay, Floating Fat Man. I'm guessing this one might be that one. Let's see. They didn't exactly post a code, so. No, no, not password. Code. There we go. They added a. Oh, let me. Sorry about that. Keep forgetting. One day, Nardu, you are gonna make it to the finals. I believe it. It'll happen. But I'll really start rooting for you whenever you start making Lizard Man or Corn. That'd be cool. To be fair, you were against dwarves, so honestly, who can blame you? And I think that first map did not help you at all. I mean, honestly, I think that first map was actually bad for both of you. That map sucks for in general, just in general. Yeah, that dog makes a lot of people mad, considering his net got banned in Vermin League. Here's the thing. So I was talking to Galrach and Ryder and a few other players yesterday, and honestly, I mean, yeah, it's super annoying. The dog is extremely annoying, but at the same time, like, that's all it is. It's just annoying. Like, there's a lot of annoying units in this game to deal with, and I mean, I'm just used to it, having to deal with more annoying units. Like, I don't like that the net does as much damage as it does and that it's unlimited. Yeah, it should be nerfed, but I don't think it's like ban worthy. There's much more problematic units in the game, and yeah, much more problematic units that need to be banned over that net. The net is annoying. Again, don't get me wrong, like I said, but like seriously. But it's okay. I'll main corn with you whenever the DLC comes out. We'll both learn corn together. Ancient Tree Man will be leading up the Wood Elves, and we do have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch on the Tzeentch side. Presumably on a disc, because why would you bring anything else? I'm going to main Skaven now. Do it! People apparently, actually, no, that'd be a terrible time for you to pick main. This would be a terrible time for you to main Skaven now, because people hate Skaven now, apparently. A lot of people just don't like fighting Skaven right now because they got range buffs, and not only that, people seemingly hate the Doom Flayers. So, yeah, they might end up getting added to the global ban list, or some of their units will get banned, including the Doom Flayers, or limited to one, like in this tournament. I think Doom Flayers limited to one in this one. So, if you do main Skaven, it would be a good time, but also a bad time, because they'd probably get banned out every time you play against other players, and there's a global ban list. But Ancient Tree Man will be the Lord with the Earthblood. They do have that new ability, Ancient Protector, which is fantastic against Steam infections, and especially against somebody like Tzeentch, negating that magical weapon within the 35-meter range, which is pretty freaking great. Especially considering most of your stuff on Wood Elf side have Fizz Res. For new players who don't know, if you're going to play Wood Elves, you have Fizz Res. And that sucks against demonic factions. But that's what you have those Treemen for. That negates those magical attacks bypassing your Fizz Res. So it's great. Just got to bring one of those guys. Helps out with your Treemen as well, your regular Treemen. Blade Riders with Spears, who got recently buffed, including some Wild Riser Spears as well. We do have Dryads for the front line, including Glade Guard. And we do have some Glade Guard in the back line as well. I meant to say Internal Guard for the front line, excuse me. And Wild Riders with Shields. For the Tzeentch side, we do have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch on a disc with shorter change for that Chaos Spawn Summon, Pink Fire, and Infernal Gateway with Blue Fire. And do they have any items? No, they don't really, just Fires of Change. Zangors and Marauders will be the frontliners. They're just full Zangors. I think it's full Zangors with Chaos Knights, Severed Claw, Aspiring Champion ROR for that anti-large. Screamers of Tzeentch. We're chasing down Wood Elf Cav, Chaos Furies, and Chaos Knights as well. And then we do have some more Centaurs of Tzeentch in the back line. We do have the Doom Knights of Tzeentch as well. Is it just the one unit? It's just the one unit. So they should be good at harassing. We do have Wild Riders getting a charge in here with the Chaos Knights. Gonna do okay, but yeah, they're gonna take a lot more damage than than they should. Though the Internal Guard are helping rather not than they should, but a lot more damage than the Chaos Knights will. The Internal Guard will help and hopefully win that fight eventually. Wild Riders charging over, trying to get on top of the Furies, help out. Though we have too many Cav units here, really bogged down on one unit of WoW, on one Chaos Fury. Though I understand the players panicking, trying to get their Glade Guard out of there. Do we have I think a Gate of Zinch hitting all three of these units? Yikes, it does hit actually two of them. Yeah, no, all three, because it's dragging down models still. And these models which are being blocked by this Chaos Bond, which is really, really tough. Not that bad though. A majority of them escape and they don't take as much damage as they could have. Doom Knights get a charge here on the Glade Guard and they start pushing through, getting on top of the Dryads as well. But we do have Glade Riders pushing through, getting on top of them and getting us around on them. Hopefully they can stop them. Glade Guard need to turn around and start shooting. Centaur is being chased off by Wild Riders who which is they're a bit late as these Glade Guard have been pushed off, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? Dryads getting rear charged here by the Severed Claw, who also is backed up by Chaos Spawn. So eventually this fight should go to the Zinch side. Same on this side. These Angors will eventually beat the Dryads by passing their Fizz Res with their magical attacks. Ancient Treeman getting an Earthblood, hitting these Eternal Guard and Glade Guard. Doom Knights do pull out and actually don't lose that many models, only 2 so far. Pretty nice. Wild Riders doing good here, gonna get a charge here on the Screamers, gonna finish those guys off hopefully. Yep, and there they go, they go into Demonic Instability and they're dead. 352, 546, and they're gone. Glade Guard up and about again, chasing after Centaurs, though I don't think that's worth it at all. Definitely need to turn around and start shooting at, say, like the Severed Claw, the Doom Knights, etc. These Wild Riders also need to turn around because, as you can see, the Doom Knights are chasing after them. And you're not going to really catch these Centaurs with these Wild Riders, so just keep these 2 chasing and send them back to support, as those Glade Guard definitely need some help. Gate of Zinch hitting all 3 of these Wood Elf units is a pretty good cast there by the Zinchian side. Value-wise, though, we're looking pretty great for the Wood Elves, and I definitely think this is probably going to go to the Wood Elves. Obviously, there's a little potential here for the Zinch. No, I don't know. I was going to say there's a little potential for the Zinch side to scrap back, but their Centaurs are mostly gone. We do have one. No, it's Doom Knights. Do we have any Centaurs left? Any Centaurs? I don't think so. Yeah, it's over. But good scrap from both players. I have to go to Ogres for the patch. I mean, I don't even know if did Ogres get anything in the changes, or do you mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I saw any 5.1 Ogre changes. I mean, maybe I did. I missed them. Oh, you mean the next DLC? Gotcha. Yeah, next DLC. Probably. I don't know. That's probably it. Depending on what the Ogre units are, because I know we do have the Thunder Tusk, and we do have gold monetization disabler man-eater. So those 2 units are cool. We also do have Blood Vultures. I don't know. It depends on what the rest of the units are. Yeah, the Ogre's getting freaking flying units. Even being able to contest the air is freaking amazing. Not getting your lead vultures dive down by Furies and getting them annihilated, wonderful. Having to do, though, I can imagine that's gonna be a freaking menace. Having to do with Saber Tusk pack and Blood Vultures. You're probably still gonna be playing Sunlash. 129 on the Tree Man, everything else did fine. Pretty solid build from the Wood Elf side. I don't think I'd bring Glade Guard though. Probably bring Swift Shiver Shards now that they got buffed. But Glade Guard are fine. 1575. I just don't necessarily see a reason why to bring them, because The Fizz Res and most of the Zinchi side units are just going to mitigate that. Plus the Protoss shields, plus Silver Shields of Centigors. Not Centigors, I mean Zangors. Wild Riders did great with their new buffs. And yeah, nice build there from Wood Elves. 1123 on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Got some decent cast there with those gated Zinches. Definitely would have liked to see more pink fires on that front line. 526 Zangors did fine. 392, 638. As for the army comp, I think it's fine. Doom Knights are okay. I'm not sure if you even need the Centigors. I probably would have dropped the Centigors. Alright, there goes that match. We need the other two to play. That's let's see who the other two players are. Top four. So Floating Fatman beats Foxstream. We do have Chavo versus B6A6S. If Skaven get healing, does Human Boy stop hating healing? Probably not. I mean, yeah, no, probably not. Because, I mean, maybe. Actually, you know what? No, I still think he would hate healing, to be fair, because healing is pretty atrocious. I play Nurgle. Human Boy yells at me for healing. I play Slanesh. People make fun of me. Why does Human Boy make fun of you for healing? I play Coast and have a fun time, but also get made fun of. How do you win? Okay, Coast is a completely respectable faction. People who make fun of you for running Coast, those people are losers. Ignore them. Let's see the other two. J1 B6. What are their names? Is Joyboy Chavo? Or whatever their name is? Cheveo? I think Cheveo is Joyboy, yeah. I've heard healing is strong, but coming from only playing campaign into yesterday, I don't really see it as strong. Yeah, in campaign, it's a totally different story. So you have to imagine this, Lassie. I'll give you an example much better later, but so imagine I play Nurgle, let's say. So I mean, I don't even think Nurgle. I mean, Nurgle is a problem, but so say you run Kugath, right? This guy has 14,000 HP. That's a lot, right? That's a freaking lot. That is the highest HP pool for a Lord in the game. Now, imagine this with healing. You throw a Fleshy Abundance, that's 1.6% of his HP over 18 seconds. I mean, every second for 18 seconds. So 1.6% of 14k, as you can imagine, that's a freaking lot. Now, this can be casted multiple times throughout the game. So you're essentially having to kill Kugath twice. Now, And obviously, this can be casted on other creatures as well. So having to deal with, oh, I don't know, say, Minotaur Dragon isn't an issue. Let's be frank. But say if these Chaos Knights, you get a good engagement with them, you catch them out, and you think, well, I got them surrounded. I beat them down to like they only have 20 models left, a quarter of their HP. Well, here's the thing. They get held up, they come back, their leadership stabilizes, they get a rear charge on your flank of your infantry, and you lose the game. Why? Because Chaos Knights got healed, and instead of routing, breaking off the field, or being finished off, they came back in the fourth quarter and won the match. That's why healing is an issue. Healing as much as it does is what's the issue, not more so that healing is an issue. It's how much you heal. Sweet. He got me? JP says he got me, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means JP's hosting the lobby or what. Let's see. There's Wags. It's not Wags. Poseidon. Apparently those other two played already. So there's no other semifinal. It's just going to be the finals now. Nardu healing Tamu for the third time. Nardu, stop healing that man. You like my human boy impression? It's not enough if you ask me. Nurgle needs all they can get. Don't forget about AoE heal Nurgle has as well. Yes, they also have freaking fecundity, by the way. A army ability for new players that AoE heals, essentially. If you... Okay, so it's not necessarily an AoE heal, as in you can place down the circle anywhere and it hits a bunch of units. No, what it does is, when you're using fecundity, if you use it on a unit and it's close by other units of yours, it spreads to them. So Nurgle has this thing where some of their abilities and spells, they spread to other units nearby. Which is obviously pretty tough to deal with. Yeah, go Nurgle next time. Okay, that makes sense. It's just in the tournament today I didn't play against healing, or if I did, it didn't have an impact. So that's why I didn't think of it. Yeah, against newer players, unless they like have the sweaty builds from whoever is teaching them they sweaty builds, you're not going to see like egregious healing or like super sweaty egregious builds. So luckily, which I think is fantastic, please like stay a noob forever. If I could go back and stay a noob, I wish I could, because I so much miss the non-sweaty builds and having to deal with healing out the butt everywhere. I can cast replay. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll cast the replay. All right, then we will cast said replay for the. Let's see. Replays. It's a freaking Skaven mirror match. Are you kidding me? How do we get a Skaven mirror match? Wonderful. Okay. I swear to Sigmar, Nardu, if you give me a healing blob replay, I will I will personally petition CA. to nerf the healing. Not that it'll actually do anything. But you know, I'm sending them numerous letters. But let's see. In the semifinals, second game match, we do have a Plague Priest on a Bell with Pestilent Breath and Pestilent Breath. The reason why it's duplicated because one comes from the actual Bell itself. It's a bound ability. And then we have the actual spell here from the caster. We also have Vermintide plus nothing else, but we do have that Billowing Death for those who don't know about Skaven, for the newer players. It's an AoE damage Mortis engine. So if his leadership is higher than Broken, and if he's fighting in melee, does have that 5 to 10 damage per second Mortis engine. But yeah, this is typically what you're going to be seeing. The Lord is actually Deathmaster Snitch, I'm realizing, but this is what typically we're going to be seeing on Skaven side is a caster on a Bell, and that's typically it. But for this build, we do have him a hero on the Bell and an actual Lord being Deathmaster Snitch. Deathmaster Snitch, what does he have? Does he have his sigil? Yeah, he does have the sigil, so it's a net, cannot move, and they take a little bit of damage. But it also only works on Lords and Heroes. Skaven Slaves for the front line. That's pretty much what you're always going to run for Skaven is a bunch of Skaven Slaves. They're extremely cost effective. You have Plague Call Catapults, and also their lives don't matter. So if they die, they die. You know, big whoop. Poison Wind Globes, the back line. You also have 2 Plague Call Catapults, and it seems like the opponent does as well. With the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters, Warlock Giselle, ROR, great sniping unit with snipe that can... The opponent can't see them from this far, or rather can't see them until they get close enough. So say if you're like sending in your valuable dragon or whatever here, and you don't know that these guys are here, they can get some pretty decent shots and before it even happens. And you will only see the actual shots themselves. You won't see them until you get even closer. That's what snipe is essentially. But we also have Rat Ogres as well for your mass. That's pretty much the only mass you're going to be bringing as the Skaven side to stop a cav, help deal with any cav, and run down the front line. But for the other Skaven side, we do have Icky Claw on his Doom Wheel with Brass Orb, Unlimited Power, Storm Demon, and Flensing Ruin. Pretty sweaty. Musk of Fear as well. Speaking of sweaty, Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves will be the infantry, along with some Wolf Rats on both flanks. We also have a Warp Lightning Cannon and a Plague Call Catapult. Eshin Triads will be guarding those artillery pieces. We also have some Rat Ogres as well. And we have some new Doom Flayers. Pretty good, I gotta say. People hate them so incredibly much. But yeah, they're fantastic. Just gotta watch them. You'll see. Rat Ogres as well. We also have a Brood Whore. Don't typically see these guys, but they're okay. 50 melee attack, 30 melee defense, decent AP values with Frenzy, and they do have Molder Master plus regen. So the Molder Master monster being there if you have a hero that can heal said Molder monster, but they don't. You will have to be relying on this regen. Brass Orb hitting that Plague Call Catapult artillery crew, which is pretty good. Actually destroys one of those artillery pieces, which is pretty nasty. Oh, I didn't even notice. We have Storm Vermin here? Oh, nice. Why do we have Storm Vermin here? They also should not be on top of the artillery crew because they're getting bombarded by Plague Call Catapults. Please, move them out of there. Also, might have not just been the Brass Orb, might have also been the Warp Lightning Cannon too. But infantry, just wet noodle contests for both sides. I mean, these Skaven Slaves get routed off by their own Poison Wind Globes. On this side, Poison Wind Globes are also hitting their own Skaven Slaves as well. Clan Rat Spears making way around the back line. You have the Wolf Rats making through the back line as well. These guys get routed off by Rat Ogres, and as well, these guys probably are going to get hit by Rat Ogres as well, plus screened out by Skaven Slaves which is pretty nice. These plague claws are taking quite a bit of damage. Lost 2 models, and their leadership is not looking too great at 9 leadership. Flensing Ruin hitting the Deathmaster plus Plague Priest. When you get hit by a Flensing Ruin, definitely want to take that unit away from wherever your other units are, because it hits any other unit it's near. The Brute Horde gets into the backline on top of the Natty Boobo Sharpshooters, but the issue is now it's going to be surrounded by Rat Ogres. Gotta be careful there, but it is stopping those guys from shooting. Icked Claw is taking quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure if it was from fighting Deathmaster Snitch, but yeah, he's got to watch out. Clan Rat Spears being sent up. We do have a Iron Demon, most likely not Iron Demon, Storm Demon being shot. Was that it? What just happened there? Was that the Storm Demon cast and it hit the Clan Rat Spears? I don't know. Clan Rats get summoned in to try to screen out these Clan Rats from the other Skaven side. Blob over here on this side is going better for this Skaven side. It's kind of confusing here, but we do have a Brass Orb helping out with that, and then some more Clan Rats coming over to assist. Rat Ogres fighting as well. Rat Ogres chasing off these wolf rats, and these going over here to help out with this Brood Horde. The Brood Horde most likely will rout scene with only 7 leadership. We'll see -4, and there it goes. Natty Boobo Sharpshooter still up and shooting. That also might be a reason why Icked Claw is so damaged. These guys are freaking fantastic. 7 value. That's probably exactly what they were shooting at. 1500 freaking value. Yeah, that's most likely exactly it. And again, actually, now that you can see them with your artillery pieces, I would definitely probably have your blade calls focus on that. But we do have Rat Ogres pushing through and getting out of the back line anyway, so it doesn't matter. And honestly, the only reason I say to have the Plague Claw catapult shooting at it was because you have nothing else fighting it. The Plague Claw is much better at shooting blobbed up or tighter formation units like the Poison Wind Globes, which it does do decent into. Warp Lightning shooting at the Plague Priest, doing some okay work. Deathmaster Snitch is having a bit of a tough time here, being surrounded by Rat Ogres, being punted by Brood Horrors, and being hit by Flensing Ruin. I think he's possibly going to die here. We'll see. Down to 529 HP, 468. That could be pretty bad for the Skaven leadership here. Balance of power is starting to tick into the enemy's favor. Icked Claw surviving and up to 1900. Still has 1900 HP with, let's look at that, 1500 value. Just proving his superiority over the Eshin clan. Do have a Plague Breath, or whatever it's called, hitting the Eshin Triads. Plague Breath, what is it called? Pestilent Breath. Same thing, doesn't matter. These Rat Ogres fighting these other Rat Ogres, a little bit of a sibling fight. Eshin Triads being pushed, not being pushed back, but held back by the Skaven slaves. You can see their models are stuck there, but now they're finally pushing past as they run away. What have the Doomflayers been up to? I have no idea. I've completely missed them the entire game, but let's see them find a fight to go into. But 193 kills so far on them, 197 actually, 505 value. I wonder how they would do into Rat Ogres, considering people saying that they are a bit problematic into light cav, or cav without armor piercing. Rat Ogres being chased down by Eshin Triads, which is exactly what they don't want. This Plague Priest does get it routed off, unfortunately, and Balance of Power does look like it's going to be going to Icked Claw. We'll speed it up a little bit here as, yeah, and there we go. It's sealing the deal. Sister's second campaign, therefore I picked 3 against Slanesh, completely forgetting that Slanesh has a million ways of flanking me. Yeah, it'll come, like Naru said, it'll come to you as you play more. Just yeah, you'll start to learn matchups a lot more. It just requires experience. Just have fun in the meantime while you're building that experience. Deathmaster kind of got ganged on, unfortunately for him. Yeah, Icked Claw is a better lord all around, and I hate to say that, but it is true. 571 on the Plague Priest. Everything else did fine. You know, Skaven slave value doesn't matter. They're worthless. Definitely wouldn't bring Storm Vermin. They're kind of a waste of gold like 99% of the time. Otherwise, if you do bring them on that 1% chance that they will do good, it's going to be the halberd variant. The sword and shield variant are just terrible. But Natty Boober sharpshooters got some pretty good value, like shooting at Ikit there. At one point, I probably would have started firing at Rat Ogres or maybe the Doom Flayers and focus less on sniping out Ikit. Though, you know, it wasn't too bad of an idea. 1854 on Ikit there. Asian Triads did good. Did fine, rather. 608, 979, 980 on the Plague Catapult. 658 on the Brood Horror. 1762 on the Warpline Cannon, sniping out those Plague Claws. Yeah, 2 was probably too many. Probably would have just gone with the 1 like Falling Star did. But, you know, it's for fun. Yeah, it was just like there was nothing else to contest it. So 505 on the Doom Flayers with 190 kills. Probably running through Skaven slaves mostly. All right. So we have Floating Fat Man against B6A6S. Here we go, fellas. We got the grand finals here. Again, I always forget with the blocker, but I'm sure they're ready or at this point. Yeah, seems they're ready. But this means like we have more Skaven against Wood Elves. I think Floating Fat Man also played the Wood Elves in my new player Dom tournament. I can't remember though, but they were pretty good at them as well, if so. Let me see. I think. Oh no, they were actually Beastmen. Yeah, I remember. They were Beastmen and played against Wood Elves, and they did solid, incredibly solid at it. But let's see. Locker, turn that off. And there we go. So we do have Ikit again up against another Ancient Treeman. Ikit most likely being on his Doom Will again. We also have more Doom players. And we have the Avalanche Mortars, the Poison Wind Mortar ROR. Hardly ever see those, but they should theoretically do well here. Alright, yeah. Ikit on his Doom Will with probably the same kit. Unlimited Power, Brass Orb, Storm Demon, and Howling Warp Gale. Plus Flame Zero. Howling Warp Gale for the Wood Elves, just on the off chance they maybe bring flyers like Eagles, but otherwise you can just continue casting Flame Zero and unlimited power for that power recharge rate. And Musketeer brought as well. You know, it's just there. It's minus 4 leadership, minus 12 melee attack on enemies for 8 seconds when he's casting a spell. And you're going to be casting not so frequently as if you just brought Warp Lightning, but it'll proc every once in a while. But yeah, we do have those Avalanche Mortars, the Death Globe Mortar ROR. They're pretty good, as you can see. Fantastic AP values and a whole lot of range, 85. and they can, you know, chunk down on Wood Elf range units, but that's if the Wood Elf range units don't target it, which most likely they will if the player notices them. We do have Rat Ogres as well, no surprise for the mass. We do have Warp Lightning Cannon, Eshin Triads to protect said artillery pieces, Teethbreaker, Rattling Gun ROR, nice. Pretty cool to see these guys, but it's less of a meme now apparently because they got buffed, or rather Rattling Guns in general, or range units in general got buffed for them. So we'll see how good they do. 145 range. Issue is the line of sight for those guys, and Human Boy always says that they never shoot whenever he wants them to. But Doom Flayers and the trees, which is, as you can see, a terrible idea against the Wood Elves because they have a whole bunch of Wild Riders and Glade Riders, plus the Ancient Tree Man who has brought just Earthblood and Life Bloom. But yeah, Wild Riders, Glade Riders, Dryads, they're going to catch out those Doom Flayers, which is going to be pretty tough. But for the rest of the army, we're going to have Eternal Guard, Dryads, Glade Guard, Starfire, Shafts. They do have that magic flaming AP shots with a pretty good range at 170. Glade Riders as well in the back line. Got to watch out with those guys. Jeez, oh my god, look at that. Those Glade Guard are freaking gone. That one volley, that annihilated them. And yeah, Brass Orb's going to do some okay work against Dryads, and the Glade Riders are now taking shots from the Warp Lightning Cannon. Those Doom Flayers get caught out immediately and are terror routed. Yeah, that's a tough catch there for those poor Skaven. Teethbreakers get hit with concealment bombs. Is that what is that from? That they're getting? Have they always had that? I guess they always have. That's pretty nice. So they can get a pretty sneaky little shot volley in if they get lucky. Avalanche Mortars pulling back as they're having a bit of. They're finally being pushed back by the Wild Riders who got on top of the Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres trying to screen them out from the Poison Wing Globes. Skaven Slave Spears are also trying to screen them out as well, drag them down. That's what they're exactly meant to do. Doom Flayers being chased off. And somehow still have 2,500 HP or so. Ancient Tree Man getting hit by a Frenzied Ruin, along with the Dryads and Glade Riders. Wild Riders and Eternal Guard holding back. Eternal Guard moving up as well. Avalanche Mortars probably need to start shooting again and start racking up some value. But we do have the Warp Lightning Cannon as well being compromised. But the Rattling Gun, the Teethbreakers do get some volleys in. Let's see how they do. Pretty okay so far, not too shabby. They are suppressed, so slowing them down, giving the Rat Ogres time to catch up to them. Same with the Ashen Triads, which is nice. Skaven Slaves or Clan Rats holding back Dryads, and same with over here as well. These Glade Riders need to be brought around and sent to the back line to help out with the main engagement. On this flank, it's going a little bit better for the Wood Elves as the Rat Ogres and the Skaven Slaves run away. Same with these Clan Rats, though we do have some more Rat Ogres coming back to help out. Dryads continue pushing and chasing after the remnants of the Skaven forces. These Rat Ogres are routing off to the forest. We do have another Brass Orb hitting these Eternal Guard, gonna do okay. Eternal Guard continue to push. They have Glade Riders and Eternal Guard pushing into the back line, trying to help out these Glade Riders who are being dragged down by Eshin Triads and Clan Rats with Spears. These Poison Wind Globes, or these Avalanche Mortars, are unfortunately going to probably fall here. They do have a decent amount of HP left, but they're not a -8 leadership, and there they go, routing. Rat Ogre's going to hop in here with the Dryads, help out with that engagement there. Dryads pushing past and getting probably be able to get into the back line of the Skaven, who has all but collapsed, and it's starting to look like it's a lot better for the Wood Elves, though we do have some Rat Ogres that will be able to come back here, some more Skaven Slaves and Warp Lightning Cannon crews coming back, Eshin Triads plus Rat Ogres on this side as well, which will help. But it is looking like it's going to be going to the Wood Elves most likely, as Ikit Claw starts to rout, going down to -9 leadership. Will he break? Oh, he actually stabilizes up to 11 randomly. Okay, VK Claw, let's go. Nice. How did he just stabilize there? He goes down to 7 now. We'll see how it goes. If he routes and runs away like a coward, Rat Ogres getting into the Eternal Guard is not great. They're going to be dragged down by there. Those guys, these 2 Starfire Shafts. Oops, I ended up clicking in replay. But yeah, I don't think it was any chance there for the Skaven to come back. And the Wood Elves played that well. Yeah, I think the Teeth Breakers there were too much of an... Yeah, 147. Not the best choice for dealing with the Wood Elves. They get collapsed on way too easily, as Wood Elves have so many units to just get into your back line with. With the, you know, the Rat Ogres, the Wild Riders, even the Glade Riders as well. Avalanche Mortars were cool to see, but again, yeah, probably not the right choice. Especially if you also have another range unit you need to protect, like the Teeth Breakers. Probably go one or the other. And on a map like this, with with those trees there that are gonna be that the Wood Elves are gonna be able to exploit, definitely probably will not bring a Warplane Cannon. So if you do bring the Avalanche Mortars again, probably just bring either some more Rat Ogres, some more infantry in general, and some Wolf Rats. No, I could probably just go, yeah, more Wolf Rats. Help get into that back line. But Acre Claw, 1500 value there for him. Not too shabby. Eshin Triads did fine. Yeah, just having those Doom players get caught out in the trees like that just really, really sucked for the Skaven side. Losing that very, very important piece for you. This is the second... I've only seen them twice now, and they haven't been able to perform as well as they apparently do, because this time, I mean, getting caught out by in the trees, and the other time probably not getting that much of a spotlight in general in that replay, as they didn't have ideal targets. 420 on the Warplane Cannon, 765. Ancient Tree Man did fine. 1859 on the freaking Wild Riders. And these guys as well, 1711, picking up chevrons, both of them. 542 here, 280. Dryads did good. And yeah, pretty solid build there from the Wood Elves. Extremely well played to both players. Floating Fat Man winning now a new player land battle tournament and a new player Dom tournament. And he's going to be rising places. We'll see. I'll watch their their plays for more to come. Sure, they'll do great in upcoming tournaments. But thank you guys for playing, and thanks for letting me watch and cast the games. That was pretty fun. Well played to everybody in the new player tournament. I'll see you guys again next Saturday. Well, I don't know if I'll cast again next Saturday. We'll see. But if I do, I'll see you guys again. If not, I'll cast the replays. As for the other replays I have, I'll probably make videos of them or have another live stream. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. Again, well played to everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.